What's good guys, and welcome to the second episode of the Path to Purity. In this episode we're going to talk about the balance phase, which occurs from day 5 to day 9 on your semen retention journey. In this episode we're going to dive very deep into everything you can experience during this phase, and we're also going to go over the potential problems and urges you can face during this phase. And I'm going to give you all the tools you need in order to overcome this phase and reach the power-up phase, which is where the real stuff starts to happen, guys. So these beginning phases, phase 1 and phase 2, the recovery phase and the balance phase, these are more of the normal phases yet, right? Nothing crazy starts to happen yet. And from personal experience, and a lot of other men I talk to as well, and men I see online posting their experience, the real stuff, the real juice starts to happen after this balance phase. Yet for a lot of men, it can be very difficult to reach this phase because the beginning part, phase 1 and phase 2, you're actually gonna experience a lot of urges, and the hardest part is gonna be in the beginning, those first 2 phases. So in this video, I'm also gonna give you all the tools you need in order to overcome this phase and reach the next phase, so you can really experience the power of semen retention. So first we need to understand the balance phase. What's going to happen between day 5 and day 10? Your body starts to be balanced out again. The most amount of recovery is done, right? You just came out of the recovery phase where your body is constantly generating new semen in order to recover, right? Because whenever you bust a nut, it's actually a huge hit on your nervous system. Now obviously you have not completely refilled everything because it actually takes 64 days before your supply is replenished, right? But the hardest hit will be in that recovery phase, and you're gonna feel that. At around day 5, when you enter the balance phase, your body is entering into a state of homeostasis. This simply means your body is balanced out again. And it's just overall very useful to have this blueprint for yourself, to understand what is happening to your body, to understand that now your body is entering into homeostasis. You can actually start to appreciate it. You can actually go through your life and realize, all right, this is what is happening now. Every time you ejaculate, a lot of hormones are being released, a lot of prolactin, a lot of other things are being released that just shake up your nervous system, then they shake up your whole state, right? So actually what's going to happen as well is that you tend to feel a lot more emotional during those first 4 days. There's a lot more turbulence in your mind. You're simply not as steady emotionally, right? What you will start to notice as well, guys, is the longer you hop on this journey and the farther you're going to go into these phases, the more of a rock you become, right? You just become very steady. Nothing can really shake you anymore. And you will start to notice that around day 5, this already starts to really adjust a lot more, right? You're not as emotionally pulled by anything anymore, right? You just start to feel a bit more balanced out, a bit more stronger within yourself. And you will just start to see that when you go out there in the world, you simply don't feel as affected by things anymore as when you're in the recovery phase. You just feel more balanced. You feel more secure in yourself. You feel a bit more grounded, you see? When you're in this recovery phase, the first phase, right? From day 0 to day 4, what you will notice is that the outer world affects you a lot more. You're just way more likely to feel triggered by something, or to even feel afraid. You struggle to even look people in the eye a lot of times, and you have this sense of just feeling this weakness within yourself. After about 5 days, what you will start to notice is that this starts to disappear. You start to feel a bit more grounded, a bit more strong within yourself, and you just feel more balanced, as I said. But one of the best things so far about the balance phase is that you will start to feel an increase in your energy. It's not gonna be through the roof yet, but overall you're gonna feel so much better, right? You just feel as if the world cannot harm you as much anymore. I remember back in the day as well, every single time I was in this recovery phase, I was in phase 1, day 0 to day 4. I just noticed that the world felt a lot scarier. I felt as if people could really trigger me a lot quicker, or I just needed to defend myself a lot more. So what you will start to notice is this energy and this strength is starting to increase within yourself. You just feel a bit more inner strength. You just feel a bit better about yourself. You overall feel as if you can take on more challenges during this phase. But the urges are still going to be there. It's still a difficult phase, and you have not yet grasped the power of semen retention, because this is the beginning, right? No real benefits are here yet. You just feel normal. You just feel balanced, right? You kind of feel like, yeah, I'm alright, I'm good, I'm all good, you know? But you will see that you will start to feel more productive. You feel like you want to work more. You can definitely work out a lot better, and you just want to do a lot more things, right? And especially at the end of this phase, which is going to be around day 9, this is where things really start start to pick up. This is where you really start to feel good, slowly but surely, right? This is the end part of this phase, but you will start to see that each and every single day your energy starts to increase. Now, obviously, once again, guys, if you don't sleep properly and if you don't have good nutrition, or you still drink a lot of alcohol and you're hungover, like, you cannot expect to then feel good, right? You cannot expect to feel absolutely on top of this world. It's not going to happen, right? So it's not just this. Let me be clear, right? Your energy isn't going to go up if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not eating healthy, if you're not sleeping well. But overall, and this will not leave you, the strength you start to feel within yourself is starting to increase. You can see this stuff as a barometer. The longer you hop on this journey, the more inner strength you start to feel within yourself. You can literally see the days as a barometer of how much inner strength you're going to feel within yourself. It's going to go up and up and up and up and up and up and up. Now, obviously, you need to balance this out, and you need to also take action upon your goals, right? You need to improve your life, but that is the power of semen retention, because if you actually have a vision, if you actually have something you're working towards, you can see semen retention as the engine behind everything you do. It's going to create more energy, it's going to create more drive, and it's also going to create more mental clarity for yourself to actually set the goals and not constantly be distracted by lust or constantly feeling weak and constantly feeling self-doubt. Because that is all that tends to happen, right? When you are in these lower phases, there's so much self-doubt. It's so hard to feel strong about yourself, to truly look yourself in the mirror and think, hell yeah, I'm proud of myself, let's do this, right? It's a ripple effect. Once you start this practice, you start to feel this confidence within yourself and this strength within yourself, and you want to attack other things. You want to do other things because you're like, well, if I can overcome this, I can overcome that, I can do that. So this is the base. This is where it starts. This is truly powerful, guys. Next to that, you just feel more mentally clear and you start to feel more confident within yourself. You just feel more inner strength. You feel as if you can take on a lot more than in that beginning phase, and you will definitely notice the difference between the recovery phase and the balance phase. Now, that doesn't mean you're all gonna feel amazing all the time, right? Maybe negative emotions start to come up, that is fine. But now you actually start to have more strength within yourself to take on those negative emotions. I think a lot of people, when they go on semen retention, and a lot of people out there preaching semen retention or NoFap or anything like this, they always come across and always say it's just going to be a pretty journey. Everyone always talks about the benefits, but it's not always benefits. As I said in prior videos as well, a lot of times you will actually go through a lot of pain, a lot of trauma, a lot of those things. But the power of semen retention is that you now actually have the strength, the courage within yourself, the energy within yourself to actually go through that shit, to actually go through that pain. Because when you don't have that strength within yourself, you will continuously escape this pain, and you will continuously escape this pain, and you will not grow, because whatever you escape, whatever you don't see, whatever you don't move through, is just going to stay within yourself, and you will continue to carry this for the rest of your life. But this is not the place. This is not the place to relapse, guys, because there are so many beautiful things waiting for you in these next phases. These next phases is where the real stuff starts to happen. These next phases is where the real benefits start to come, and these next phases is where the real personal transformation starts to take place. Yet, if you're in this phase and you've always been in phase 1, the recovery phase, this is a big win. Maybe you relapse in this phase, but please understand that you should be proud of yourself. Do not feel guilty. Be happy. Alright, and you can move on, and you can continue to move on, because feeling guilty and shameful is not going to help you in any way, shape and form. All you're doing when you actually believe the guilt and when you believe the shame, you're gonna continue to feed your small self, your small little victim me energy. Oh, I can't do it. Right? This is a small you. If you continue to give this attention, you will be continuously feeding this small self energy that is feeling guilty because it relapsed, that is feeling pain because it relapsed. Guess what's going to happen? Your self-image is continuously shaping as that person. Oh no, I'm this guilty person and I constantly relapse, right? Do not give those guilty thoughts any energy. Even if you relapse, believe it or not, whenever the guilt comes up, actually accept the guilt full on. You don't need to feel guilty. But don't feel guilty about feeling the guilt, you see? Just accept what is coming up. That is the most powerful way, because behind that, there's power. Alright, so now we're going to go over all the potential hardships you can actually face during this phase, and I'm going to give you all the tools to actually overcome them. So the first thing is that you will continue to have urges. The first 2 weeks of semen retention are the hardest. Hands down, if you make it beyond day 14, things become a whole lot easier, right? The first 2 phases are the most difficult, paradoxically, right? Everything afterwards is just a lot more smooth sailing, and what you will start to notice is that if you're months in, if this is something you want to do, it's going to be a lot easier, you know? It's just going to be easier and easier and easier, and over time, you will literally reprogram your mind, and you will literally start to change inside out, and you will look on the world with different eyes. You will not be able to see the way you used to see the world, right? Long-term semen retention tricks, and I know we're going a little bit off topic here, but they will change you from the inside out. They will completely change your vision, the way you look upon the world, right? You will clean out all the dirt within yourself. It's just an automatic process, but that's why it's crucially important to actually accept, this is what I'm always preaching, accept all the dark stuff that is coming up on these longer semen retention streaks. So overall, in this phase, urges tend to be very bad. A lot of men are not able to go beyond 7 or 10 days because this is the hardest part, right? So hands down guys, the easiest way to make it to at least day 14, to go through this phase, is to be busy, to do things, right? And maybe you only have to do this for a short period of time. Just plan out 2 weeks of just activity and actually let the stuff that is within yourself come up. But at this point, when you just start to fill up this energy, fill up this tank, and you continue to push outward and you continue to just do things, you go to the gym, maybe you go to communities, maybe you go to socialization groups, anything like read books, you are busy, you're not in your room, right? You want to be avoiding your room, only use your bed to sleep on, right? This is the mistake many men make, is that they use their bed, you know, also for laying down, maybe reading a book. And a lot of times this is where they relapse. For those first 2 weeks, what you can do is you're just planning your day with activities the whole day, right? And I'm not recommending this on the long term, because at some point you need to face yourself and you need to see what is going on within yourself. But just for the first few weeks, this can be extremely powerful. So just set a lot of goals. Maybe you go travel, you go camping. And also something very powerful is just leaving your current environment, because your current environment most likely has a lot of triggers that will make you relapse. Because when you're in the same environment constantly, you have your routine and you most likely always relapse at the same time or at the same moments during the day. If you completely switch up your routine, you might move somewhere else for a bit. You might travel if you have the luxury to do so, or you're just planning your day with things for those first 2 weeks all day long, or especially at the moments where you would normally relapse, you're gonna make it easily. I remember back in the day, I was about 18 years old, I lived in Australia and I was traveling day in, day out, right? I was backpacking Australia and I was sleeping on hostels, I was almost traveling every day. It was a very hectic life, but not a single time did I think about freaking busting nuts. Never ever, right? First of all, because I was in a hostel and I was sleeping with other people in a room, there was not an option to do that. Second of all, I didn't even think about it. I was so busy doing things all day. When I hit the pillow at night, I was gone. I was asleep. And I remember looking back and thinking, holy crap, like I didn't fap for like months and I wasn't even trying, right? Because I was busy all day. Because a lot of times the reason we relapse is because we don't have enough things to do and we're constantly at home. We're constantly in a place where it's very likely to relapse. And another hardship you might face is that you feel impatient for the benefits. You might think, oh my god, I'm having all these urges now. How in the freaking hell can I do this for such a long time? How can I ever make this a lifestyle or do this forever if this is something you want to do? Please understand that if you move through these phases and you keep going, it's going to be so much easier, because over time you're literally going to rewire your brain. You're going to think different. Your thoughts are going to become a lot different as long as you really redirect your energy properly, you see. It's truly important to be patient on this path to purity. It's going to take a while. Your brain has to rewire itself, you see. You really have to change certain habits. The way you think needs to change as well. The things you consume on a day-to-day basis need to change. And I'm not talking about food, I'm talking about media, anything that enters your mind. This is soul food, this is mind food. So be very aware of the things that don't serve you and get them out of your life as quickly as possible. Only feed your mind with positive influence. Certain podcasts that level you up, certain books that level you up. So something that can help you stay patient on this journey is to simply know things are first of all going to become a lot easier, and the beginning is always the most difficult part. Because at a certain point, guys, you're not even going to be counting your days anymore. You're totally going to forget about it because it becomes so effortless at a point. But this is the hardest phase, the first two phases. The balance phase is still a very difficult phase. You have still a lot of momentum of sexual thoughts in your mind that need to tame down slowly but surely. But this is going to happen over time if you properly redirect your energy and continue to be on this journey. Amazing things are going to happen. You're going to feel a strength within yourself you did not know you have, and over time you will look back on yourself and you think, I'm a new man. So guys, in the next episode we're going to be talking about the power-up phase, a truly exciting phase. I have so many amazing things to tell about this phase, guys. It's one of my favorite phases, to be honest. It's just, oh man, it's awesome. It's really great. Like, you can really see the smile on my face because I truly love this phase and always experience the same thing. And I see every single man on this journey, pretty much everyone is going to go through the same thing. So be ready for that episode, guys. Guys, thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe, like the video, and feel free to follow me on Instagram. It's in the description link down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.